Um, so, do you think that, in terms of my training, it would be better for me to drop back to one session a day for 5 days of the week, rather than doubling up at the start of the week and tapering off towards the end of the week, or?
So a little bit of context, Goffey is an American football player. He's asked a question. He does a couple of double days at the moment where he's doubling up between sprint sessions and gym sessions. And right now, we're not doing any sport-specific training. So when I refer to sport-specific training, I'm actually talking about playing the sport. In my opinion, that training for an athlete needs to take precedence over any other form of training. So because we're not doing that right now, everything that you're doing, we're doing in order to try and get better at the end goal, which is you getting better at football, right?
Yeah.
So right now, my opinion to try and condense this down is you are better off hitting one session a day, 5 days a week with maximum intensity, rather than trying to load in two sessions per day at the start of the week, and then getting towards the end of the week, dragging ass in those sessions and not getting the most out of them. The number one thing should be the intensity of the sessions. If you're able to hit all sessions with maximum intensity, then you're going to progress quicker than just trying to load up on volume. So you're essentially wasting the week if you're trying to load up on a heap of volume at the end of the week, and then if you're not able to, because one thing you told me earlier was that you're actually not getting through some sessions during the week just because you're fatigued from previous sessions. So that's not a good sign. So as a rule of thumb, if you're able to do less and hit it with a higher intensity, go that route rather than trying to load up on more. One thing we did speak about earlier was there is a fine line. You need to push to progress. You can't just coast, otherwise you're not actually going to progress forward. So there is that fine line. But if you're only getting 3 quality sessions in a week out of 6 or 8, there's almost not a lot of point doing that much volume.
Yeah.
Right? So the answer to the question would be, if I was you, I would probably look at just doing 1 session a day, because there's a lot of other variables in your life that you don't have, that you need to do. You're not a professional athlete, so you have to work. That's going to contribute to your ability to train well. So by adding in extra volume, you don't want to make sure that you're wasting those sessions. You want to make sure that the sessions you're getting in are quality, and it's sometimes a quality over quantity type deal. That would be my advice. That would be the answer to the question. It just goes back to the old rule that, sometimes more isn't necessarily better. We need to work together to make sure that you're not getting overworked. Another really important indicator is your recovery. Are you getting to, when you start on Monday, are you feeling fresh? Are you ready to go? Or are you getting to Monday and you're feeling like, I don't want to do this, I'm not feeling great, I'm still sore from the week before? That's another indicator that you're doing too much. If you're feeling that way, you should be, especially if you're taking Saturday and Sunday off right now, you should be coming into Monday feeling pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's the major question Goffey asked. I just wanted him to ask that because it's not only for his particular set of circumstances as a football player. It really goes for any athlete in any sport. Especially when you're in pre-season training, you're actually in the thick of doing what you need to. He's in a little bit more of a unique position right now in the fact that he's not doing any sport-specific training right now. So everything he's doing is with the goal to, when he gets to the sport-specific training, to make sure that he's able to excel at that. But if you are doing sport-specific training, you need to make sure that takes priority. So that may mean reducing the volume in your training sessions. That may mean a whole bunch of other things. but that has to take priority. When I say sports-specific training, it is not a sports-specific program. Sports-specific training is doing your damn sport. So if that's football, it's training for football. It's throwing the football, it's catching it. If it's a combat sport like jiu-jitsu or something like that, it's doing jiu-jitsu. So that has to take priority. Everything else you do needs to add to that, not detract from that. If it does detract from that, you need to have a look at whether it is of value for you to continue to do that or not. So that's the advice. Good luck. If you got any questions, hit us up. We'll get back to you.